Hey, what's up everyone? Don't mind the traffic sounds in the background. I'm out of the truck right now. Just wanted to talk a little bit. There are some recordings that I made with the phone that I'm going to post later, but I never did get to because of the data and the phone started dying. So, just wanted to do some talking about some things that happened today. There have been several occurrences today where I messed up electronics. So let me go ahead and give you a few of them right now. My energy has been heightened today. And I don't mean like an oh my goodness, like I'm just so energetic type of energy, because it didn't affect me in that way. It's an energy where you mess things up and things go crazy and you interfere with electronics. So, first, when I was in the grocery store, I got a few items, necessities, some cat food, or some food for the cats, and some just barely, doing what we can, basically, just doing what we can get, and some stuff for the dogs. Had to get some dog food and a few items for the house. So right after I did that, I walked up to the register, and I noticed that the pin wouldn't work for me. I put my mama's debit card in because we had a certain amount in there, and then I was going to get the rest out later, or get some out later, basically. And so I put get what was left out later. I put the debit card in to pay for the items. It was like $44 for just a few items. It was ridiculous. And it's usually higher than that, but the machine didn't want to work. And I tried it again. She said, well, insert the card again. I did. And she was like, well, insert it again. So then she said, well, I know it's a chip, but just swipe it. I'll set it to swipe. So I swiped it twice. It still didn't want to work. And so it still didn't want to work. And she said, well, I'll just type it in. It was all blurred. The card has been used so many times that it was over the years that it didn't want to work. I mean, if she couldn't see the numbers. So I said, well, I'll try it again. And I calmed down and I focused. And I put the card in and held it in there. Usually when I hold it, I have to say, okay, let me back up. Because usually when I back up, it starts working. Well, I held it in there and the card actually worked. And so then later, when we were at the Pilot Travel Center, the TV screen blotched. And then the TV screen froze where I was at. Completely froze. I'd walked away from it. I walked away. It started working. Walked back up. Froze again. I completely froze the numbers for the showers that were going across there at the top. The pilot showers at the top, upstairs where the driver's lounge is. They have a TV on the outside, TV screens showing the showers. And I froze it by walking by it. Each time I froze it. I messed the pin pads up, I messed the computers up, and I froze the TV screens. That obviously were the monitor projection for the computers downstairs. And when I was trying to work at the register, when I was trying to work with the items at the register, it didn't want to work. And I walked under the speaker to the radio. I walked under the speaker. See, on one side they have an ATM, and the other side they have an ATM. And then you have the stairs to go up to the showers and the driver's lounge and all that. And we, let's see, I walked toward the other doors and I was waiting. And waiting for us to, do what we had to do. My mama went in there. She barely got out of the truck, and she got in the building to use their restroom. And so I was waiting, and I walked underneath the speaker of the radio. And the radio speaker in Pilot went out. It blacked out and went silent. And then it came back on when I walked away from it. Go back under it, and it quit. Walked away from it, it came back on. And then it didn't happen again. Then, those machines they have for the lottery, for the tickets, lottery tickets in there, they have this. Sometimes they're touchscreen, sometimes they're actually you just touch the sign of the ticket, select it or whatever. And when I walked by that, and it just completely went off. I noticed it was off. The entire thing went black, and they had to fix it later. At least it seemed to be when I walked up to it, it was just black, but it was working when I walked in. but it went dark. And so phones have been messing up on me. Don't mind the dog barking in the background. Hold on. So then later, the same thing happens. The debit card doesn't want to work. Phones don't want to work around me. Devices are screwing up. And their processor malfunctions. So whatever items I'm around, the processor malfunctions and the computers screw up today. And so it didn't happen in every place, but the majority of the places we were at today messed up. So later, one of my earbuds went out. And when I looked up years ago, when those awakening symptoms and what had happened through me with star seeds and star souls and all this stuff, when I looked that stuff up, it always talked about messing up electronics and interfering with things. I can do a cupping of my hands, sort of like an energy thing, and it will mess up older radios. If they're FM radios, they'll screw up based on the chi or psi ball, whatever you want to call it, between your hands. The energy that feels like two attracting and repelling magnets. And when I do that and focus, the radio will turn up or turn down or shut off. And that's happened to me many times before. I haven't tried that in a while, but the older radio we have in the house, one of the radios do that, and it messes up with me. And so when I was in the truck on the way home this evening, I noticed, well, my earbuds went out. But the entire earbuds didn't go out. Just the right earbud, just like it used to. Just like that used to happen to me, where one earbud would go out, or one side of a headphone set would go out. That happened to me throughout my life, and it happens to several people who go through the symptoms that I go through. So that's another one of those strange things. And I've got several things to share regarding the sky, chemtrails, and everything like that today. I have several videos that I took. The phone just died on me, but I've noticed it was a beautiful blue sky most of the week. It's starting to sprinkle now, and it's supposed to rain most of the day tomorrow and Monday. We're supposed to have a lot of rain Monday, so thankfully we were spared, because with all of that mess that happened in those in the Midwestern states, if that water had come down here and the rain had happened on top of it, we're still under flood warnings. I think since late January into early February, we've been in flood stage and flood warnings. The rivers have all been in that way in Tennessee, so several of them anyway. So it's been a crazy year. And so that particular situation hasn't happened to me in years, where the earbuds would go out on me. But one side of them went out, and it's always that same side most of the time that goes out, the right ear. And that happens with many other people who go through the symptoms that I go through. I've also talked to several people today who told me they felt nauseated, dizzy, really sleepy. They can't hardly sit up, and that's the way I felt all week. Their allergies have been driving them crazy, but it usually doesn't happen on the very first of spring, but this year it did. And a lot of people speculate, just think about when 5G is implemented everywhere, what we'll go through. The pains, the illnesses, the sleepiness, the drowsiness, and it's just awful. And that's what we're going through. And I've noticed they're implementing several of those transmitters up everywhere. Those towers and transmitters. I left several links below one time so that people could put their signatures in. No one did. No one's seen it. The videos were kept down. So there's not much we can do at this point for that, because it's already implemented. And they've got the president convinced it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So they're not going to say anything about that, obviously, because as long as it's on their side of the debate, they're okay with it. As long as it fits what they want to do, they're okay with it, and they're fine with 5 and 6G, which comes next. But with all of that technology, they're okay with 5G. They're fine with, so they're not going to say anything about his executive order on that to roll out 5G nationwide as quickly as possible. I get that he wants to be the leading nation technologically. He feels like the other countries are not going to do it for several years now because they're studying it, because their people chose, hey, we don't want this right now, so they're going to put it off for 5 more years. So here, the president decided, well, he thought that was an advantage point to speed the process up and have us become technologically advanced before they do. More technologically advanced before they do. But another thing, the Israeli peace process is taking off right now. They're going to restructure the borders and give Palestine their own independent state, and that's what the talks are right now. But no one really knows what the talks entail. The president is really keeping it secret with Kushner and Netanyahu. And he spoke with Russia, Putin of Russia. He spoke with Palestine, Russia, and Israel, and the United States, they all spoke together, but no one knows what they're talking about. He won't give it to the media. Understandably why, with the way they treat him, but everyone said, you can't do this without letting us know what's going on. You can't just do that without letting us know. They hate that they're not on the inside loop, that they're not on the inside job of it, but the up and up about it. They want to be, they want to know first so they can blab about it. But he's going about it in a way that's secretly, of secrecy and privacy with it. So I understand. I completely understand with the way they've done. He said some stupid things recently again. I really wish he would stop talking about John McCain. He's passed away. It's done. I mean, don't keep talking about someone who's deceased or passed away. That's not a great idea. I don't believe in that. I don't respect that. I don't agree with that. But that doesn't mean that I don't support him as a president. But I just wish he would not say certain things. I wish he would think before speaking. People should ponder the perilous prominence preceding posts and ponder the perilous prominence preceding people's posts. Think about it. Yeah. That means to think about what you post or say before you post or say it. But anyway, and I understand someone as high of a ranking office official as he is, that you've got to really think about what you say before you say it. But his approval ratings are going up right now. So, and his voting approval ratings are going up. Voter approval ratings, including in the what they're saying, the electoral college. They're still supporting him, from what I hear, and that's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool, pretty amazing. Because, hey, look what else we have running. I mean, look at those people that, they just don't, oh my goodness. Biden would just redo what Obama did, and he would just, and don't get me started with Ocasio. Oh my goodness, and that Bezos, he looks like, his name sounds similar to Jeff Bezos, but, and I called him Jeff Bozo before anyone else did. Before Trump ever said Bozo, I've been calling Jeff Bozo for many years, because he wouldn't give money to charity. He was so stingy and cheap, and to be the most rich guy in the world, he wouldn't give anyone any money. Yeah, I found that to be completely absurd and wrong. But yeah, and when asked, he's like, "Oh, what should I give to? Have anything?" Anyway, moving back to this, we don't have anything running. We don't have anything running for president this time, and Bezos, whatever his name was, Ocasio-Cortez, Biden, and Bernie Sanders. I mean, come on. They're all pushing socialism and pushing communism. It's crazy. I never thought I would see anything like that in my entire life. Also, the Kids' Choice Awards are on right now, and I can't believe I was watching it, and they had to bleep a bunch of the things they were saying on the Kids' Choice Awards, for crying out loud. The rappers got up there, and parents were just promoting it and smiling like it was nothing, but they were having explicit lyrics and having to bleep it, having to bleep those words. They shouldn't have to do that on a children's, they shouldn't even have that on a children's Kids' Choice Awards, but there's no boundary. They don't care anymore, and I just wanted to see who. I was watching it on Sling TV because I wanted to see the Choice Awards. I know Chris Pratt won, and there were several things I wanted to see on it. Jace Norman from Henry Danger. Obviously, I like that show, and I wish they wouldn't say God's Name in Vain so much. OMG. People, in my opinion, say GD and Jesus too much. I consider myself to be a believer in Jesus Christ. He is the forgiver and redeemer of sins, and Savior of this world, Savior of all. But anyway, yeah, there's just too much going on. There's a lot of disasters happening around this world, and people just act like, well, it's completely normal. No, it's not. But back to that, I can't believe they had that on the Choice Awards, and then DJ Khaled hosting it for the children after all of what he has said and done and wrote in his lyrics, what he's written. They had to bleep a music video like crazy, sexually explicit lyrics, and about killing people and murder and violence and things against women, and then just talking about kicking them out, and that's supposed to be considered sexual harassment and all of that, but yet they put it in these song lyrics and act like they're the greatest thing since sunshine. So it's insane how they promote all of this. I was thinking, well, at least they weren't giving a shout out to the Illuminati. At least they weren't giving a dark shout out to the dark side, doing the triangle symbolism and the the occult symbolism and Satan worship. Then all of a sudden, then they put on the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the star of that show from Netflix, for children. But then they had Josh Peck from Drake and Josh on there. That was pretty cool. But why did they put that show, someone from the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, where they worship Satan, they worship the dark side, on that children's show? They do it on purpose because it's an agenda, but it annoys me and my parents. It annoys Mama especially, and myself, the way they do. I've got to take care of the dog again. He's out here barking. I put him out for a little bit and let him kind of just hang out outside a little while after we got back. I got back at dark. I had the awards, planned to record in the cloud on Sling TV. That's what I wanted to do, so I could just watch it and pull it up and take care of business and then watch it and pull it up. But skip the commercials and everything. But anyway, it's a crazy world. I've messed up a lot of electronics today. I messed up a lot of things. Devices screwed up on me. My earbuds went out just like they used to, where I interfere with electronics, radio waves, radio frequencies. When 5G gets here, we're in trouble. I see them putting those towers up everywhere and those transmitters up everywhere. They're putting them on light poles. They're putting them disguising them as other things. They're putting them up as tiny little, looks like a round thing, and then sometimes they're little transmitters that looks like a box. Sometimes they're these round cylindrical looking things. They send the sharpest pains through me and through my mama. They hurt when you go by them. You know when you're around them. And they're installing them, and they're about to activate them in many places. People have been getting sick. The people I've talked to today are nauseated, sick, and sleepy, and feeling really bad. I've been feeling that way. I'm only just now gaining a little bit of energy. I have to take things to help me out just to be able to do ordinary daily tasks, and it's just ridiculous to feel this way. I don't know what I'll do for a job. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and talk about that again, but maybe someday things will work out for the better, and I can still be home and stay home and help Mama out and still be able to be who I want to be without having to rush out there and do something in this world. I'm 24 years old. I would like to do something that could benefit me in this world, but we'll see what happens. I'm just going to take my time and pray that it works out. But I just don't like the way this world is going and what things are doing. I do see and understand the fact that you can't have a kumbaya system where everyone just kind of, that's like the socialist thing they want to do. There's no utopia the way we are in this world, because throughout history people have had to barter things. They've had to barter something. You have to have money system, I guess. They just made it into a corrupt, evil system. They've just made it into something very dark and evil, and incorporated a technological system into it that made it evil. Now, right now we have an interconnected system, and we have a system where people can be able to exchange currencies for a good or service. And right now, we can do that without having to exchange, I have some chickens, I'll give you chickens. I have some vegetables and fruits on my farm, I'll give you some vegetables and fruits in exchange for this good or service. But now I'm out of eggs, so I've got to give you, you got to give me your vegetables for the eggs, and that way then I don't have eggs or meat, or we'd have to make our own meat, and we'd have to do all of the things, our own vegetables, and we'd have to do everything ourselves instead of going to the store or places and exchanging the money that's worked for or earned for that service. I get it. I mean, I get that it would be difficult to go back to a system like that, going back to bartering, because that's pretty much what we would do if we abandoned the financial system. What we need, though, is God. That's what we need to help us out, because that would be the only possible way it would work out, is spiritually ascending out of this system and out of this world, ascending where we're going. That would be the only way. But that hasn't happened yet. We haven't left the 3D world yet. But anyway, this world is crazy, and I do see the dark system that's coming. I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the 5G. I wanted to talk about how I am interfering and my energy is messing with electronics lately. It could be that bright moon, the energy of it. I get affected by that as well. So many things. Peace, much love. I love you all, and let me know if you can relate to this. My PayPal is below if you'd like to help us out. If you'd like to help me out, that would mean a lot. I enjoy speaking with you all. If you like what I do, feel free to support. PayPal and Patreon are both below. My email for this channel as well. I love you all. Share with me. Peace. Bye.